Gamers, if you think you can work together to defeat evil forces, then you want to check out Children of Morta. Let's take a look at how this game plays. In this game, players will be taking on the roles of members of the Bergson family who are trying to work together to stop the spread of corruption and evil forces in the land of Morta. Players will start with some of their special ability tokens. They'll have full health but no focus or evade points. They'll start with some basic abilities, and they will have abilities that they can upgrade to, as well as talents. And they'll start with an XP wheel that doesn't have any XP on it yet. Each round, players will be moving through the storybook and going to different locations to defeat monsters and hopefully earn some experience and some gold to help them get a little bit better over time. Each round will start with the encounter phase, where players will move the encounter marker along the dotted path to one of the available locations. So in this case, we would move to this first location because it's the only choice we had. If we had already done this location, we would have a choice of either of these, with this one having a treasure when we go there. So we might want to pick that one, or if we're not doing as well, we might want to take this little bit of a shorter path. So we'll go this way. And we can always go back to the other one if we decide to. We'll flip over the encounter tokens that are there, and whoever is the leader will take the higher of the available ones. So they would get 2 monsters and a coin, and all other players would get the lower of the tokens that they take, so that everybody else would get a monster. And players have areas in front of them for close and far monsters. So if I wasn't the leader and I was just getting one monster, I would take one of those. And it'll show you which side of the board it's going to start in. So this is going to start on my right side in the far, but this one does have ranged attacks, so it will be able to get me. If I had drawn a monster that had melee attacks and put it in the far away area, then it would not be able to attack me. But after that, players will move into the combat phase, where they will draw 5 of the skill tokens out of the bag and put them on their player board, which will help them hopefully do some of the different abilities that are on their player board. The bag will start with 1 of each of the 5 colors per player that is playing the game. Then players can use these to assign them to the different abilities that are on their board, and it'll show you if you have to pay focus for those abilities or not. If you don't have any, then you'll hopefully be able to get some throughout the rounds in order to be able to pay for those abilities. And then using those, you will fight the monsters and get any bonuses that you can off of them, some experience as long as you take them out. And some of them will also let you defeat other monsters or give you other random rewards as you defeat them. If you don't defeat them, they will have an enemy phase where they will attack you, and you can try and invade. If you had earned some evade points, you can spend those instead of taking damage, or you can take damage if you have to. If players do run out of health, then they will lose the game. That's one of the ways that they can lose. Otherwise, if you don't die, then you will move on to that cleanup phase, putting things back in the bag, resetting, and then moving on to the next location, doing things as they kind of come out for you there. At the end of the run, you will either have made it to the end of the chapter that you're working on, and you will be able to go back to town and hopefully buy some advanced skill markers, which will hopefully let you get a little bit better, get some stuff in your bag that will get you extra dice or will get you some extra focus, things like that. And if you did get any experience, sometimes you will be able to buy some of those upgraded skills. So you'll maybe pay less focus for them, or they'll do more damage, things of that nature. Throughout the game, like I said, players might also be able to earn some talents, which will potentially give them some special abilities. And ultimately, you're just trying to work through the entire story mode, again, in order to stop the spread of corruption together to save the land of Morta. I liked the story of this game. I thought that it was kind of cool, and I liked kind of the flow of it. I thought that the book worked really well, moving around the different locations and taking some of those monsters, and kind of just using the abilities that you had to defeat them. I did feel like, up front, it's a dice rolling game, so it makes sense that there is a lot of randomness, but I did feel like sometimes it felt a little bit too random for its own good. You could get blank sides of the dice, and then when you upgraded your abilities, it didn't really make anything guaranteed better. Most things just gave you a better die. So your chances were better at rolling something you needed, but you still were kind of just privy to chance. There was never a guarantee that you would actually be able to get better, which was kind of frustrating as you were upgrading, because I wanted to just be go from, okay, I'm going to roll a die to get this, to be able to actually guarantee that I do damage or something like that. The same thing kind of went for the monster decks. They felt like they had a really big range, even in a single deck, of what kind of monsters were in there and how much damage they could do, or how much damage that they needed in order to be defeated. So I thought that there was just a lot of little things that kind of felt like too much randomness on top of each other, that it made some plays of the game a little bit too frustrating. Like that there was just nothing you can do just because you rolled poorly or you drew too many monsters, things like that. So definitely just keep that in mind. If you get a little bit frustrated by a lot of randomness, then this might not be for you. But if you just like are in it for the story and you just like having a little character that you can kind of upgrade a little bit throughout your plays, then it is kind of a cool system, and it is a really good art, really good actual design. Everything works pretty well together. And I think it's a video game too, so if you're familiar with the video game, then that also might help a little bit immerse you more in the theme too. But if you like the style of game, I think that it does it pretty well overall. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of variability with things, which I think is cool, but I don't know that I would come back to it a ton, just because some of those plays with that randomness hit a little bit too hard on that. So for me, about middle of the road, but if it sounds like more up your alley, then you might like this one a little bit more than I did. But you enjoyed my full thoughts on the blog today, just said if this one's for you.